Hi, this is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching. This video is an intraday trade review. Uh, Nothing on this video should be construed as trading advice or a recommendation. It's purely for educational purposes. If you can't take responsibility for your own trades and you don't have your own trade plan, quite frankly, you probably should not be trading. This is a difficult sport and it requires that you know what you're doing and that you know specifically. When I say know what you're doing, that doesn't mean understand what the market's doing. You need to understand what you're going to be doing as a trader before you trade. So moving on. Right out of the gate this morning, I made a bad call. My assumption looking right at the pre-market activity was that we would open above the white zone. Said as much that I would be cautious on the shorts out of the gate. And as a matter of fact, I went long on this first dip in. I was just wrong, plain wrong. Took a stop out right here. So that being said, let's look at the information the market gave us right out of the gate. I know that right above here is 1680, and 1680 is the all-time high. And I assume that we could kind of get some buy pressure as we've had every day towards the end of the day to push this thing up. So looking here, obviously, not only did we not hold the white zone, but we closed below it on a 5-minute basis. This immediately put sellers in control. So you have two choices from this point. You can chase and take a really crummy fill right in the middle between two zones. Okay. You can wait till we trade down into this 1674.25. And it looks like I missed the zone by about a tick. Looks like it should have been 1674.50. So that being said, I never got a long rotation up. But we did get a rotation right to the white zone, which provided with excellent entry for several of my coaching clients, either at 1677.25 or 1677.5. Plenty of volume went off there to get your fill. But if you look here, even if you don't know that and you've taken your loss, there's no need to sit here and go, well, I know that I'm right. I know it's going to break. Instantly, with the way I have my trading plan set up, I know don't fight the long at this point. The other thing that I know is that we're consolidating right above this zone, and when you consolidate above the zone, I have to assume, sometimes you have to think through it, well, I've made an error. It should have been 1674.5 instead of 1674.25, especially when it's retested so many times. Okay. The other thing is I have sellers are in control and I've consolidated right in front of the zone. When you see consolidation right in front of the zone, you tend to get breaks like this. Now, the other thing that I was mentioning is I trade multiple markets, and the reason that I trade multiple markets is this. This is the same time frame using the chart from the NASDAQ. And in the NASDAQ, we did open above the white zone. We traded down into it, and anywhere from the top to middle of the back, really anywhere in the zone, yielded you approximately a 5-point rotation up. The zone was approximately, and my gosh, it's not letting me pull it up here, so let me see if I can get it. There it is. The zone was approximately 3072.5 to 3076 and 0.30. And we got a rotation all the way up from 3076 up to 3080, just past it, almost 3081, which would have given you approximately 5 points depending on where you entered. That's a good trade. That's equivalent to 8 ticks on the ES. The other point is sometimes when you're trading two markets, one market will trade very nicely, the other one won't. We had this dichotomy going on this morning that I was waiting for a resolution on along with everyone else, which was this. While we were kind of getting chopped around with sellers in control, we had buyers in control over the NQ, and we went kind of through this dance, chop zone, trying to figure out who was going to win. And obviously at around the 10 a.m. just prior to London closing, the sellers won out on that bid. And so here, obviously my goal is to get into a trade and take my risk off as quickly as possible and build an account. And that's pretty much all I focus on. I don't focus on the other strategies that I use or that I coach about, because my goal is to help the most basic problem that people have out there. And the most basic problem is not how do I find a winning trade. Everyone finds a winning trade. How do I stay consistent in my trading so that I take one winning trade after another winning trade after another winning trade? And how do I not bury myself in a hole? Okay, and we're going to discuss that. So this provided a very nice rotation up that pretty much offset my loss over here. Then if you'll look, we resolved that on NQ. We broke sellers gain control right here quite clearly. It was quite a predominant candlestick there. And my most logical point, I'm thinking here at this point, do I want to try and fight for the long here? traders go into panics all the time. Oh, it's going to reverse, or maybe this is right, maybe this is wrong. My target in this strategy is to take the first trade into the zone for a rotation up. If you'll look, middle to back has the highest odds, front is the most aggressive, back is the least aggressive. All of it is aggressive, it's futures trading, and the middle to back is usually where I prefer. And if you look, middle to back, right here, put you in approximately 30.65. We rotated past 30.70, so you got your on the NQ, you got your 5 points, and we're able to take your trade off the table very cleanly. If you'll look at the same time, as we were breaking down over here, we had not hit support yet on NQ. NQ was clearly stronger than ES this morning. And then the other thing you look at, when we consolidate in front of the zone, like I said, you'll often get this break. Since I've already taken a loss in ES, I want my easiest setup that I could possibly get going into this trade. And I had pointed out and posted on StockTwits and on Twitter that when we were coming through here that we had, first of all, we were coming into initial support. I expect rotation at initial support. I expect responsive buyers at initial support. And so I'm also looking for, not only do I want it, I'm willing to be more aggressive in this zone. Personally, middle to back still works just fine. So looking at middle to back, you'll see that we had tick divergence coming all the way down into the zone, right? And I pointed out when we were below this zone, right, that we were getting tick divergence, and that the zone below 1667 to 1669 would be a really nice setup. And that's exactly what we got from the middle of the zone, even from the front of the zone. We got a nice rotation from 1668 all the way up to 1671 and change. 8 ticks, 2 points, easily had here. And I don't worry about, generally speaking, when I'm building an account, I don't worry about these second touches. There's definitely trades there. There's definitely good trades there. I just don't worry about them. My entire point is to make money, and make money efficiently. If you'll go back and you'll look over here as well, right, with simple patience, you didn't have to guess where the low was. Middle to back, nice rotation up. Now, are there more trades here? Sure. I can call out trades all day long. There's options trades, there's futures trades in here. There's swing trades that are available here, but I don't think that helps anybody in this process of going from being a break-even trader or moving from a losing trader, which most traders are, losing traders, to becoming a winning trader. And so even if you wanted to short and you said, my gosh, I want to be short NQ. Well, look, sellers are in control. First rotation up into the middle of the white zone, front to middle of the white zone. Look at that. Middle is a great trade location for this. This gives you a nice, easy stop behind, and look at the rotation down. It was clean. This is the first test into the white zone after sellers gained control. Same thing on ES. Look at this. Up into the zone prior, we didn't make it all the way back to the white zone, right? And generally speaking, I'm not taking shorts at this point once I've hit initial support. And the reason for that is that because too often I'll see tremendous reversals up. But even if you wanted to take a short, even if you said Simon does not know what he's talking about, I'm taking shorts. Okay, look, if you just placed your trade location in the zone and waited for the market to come to you, look how beautiful a trade you have here. And that's both in NQ and ES. Okay, so it's all about stacking wins. And as the more wins you stack, the more aggressive you can get with your trades, and you can take second and third trips into the zone. But if you're not managing your trades well out of the gate, you don't have good risk reward, meaning either you have a 1-to-1 risk reward, or you have less than 1-to-1 risk reward, but you have a very high win rate. You need one of the two. And you're not structuring yourself mentally, which mentally means if I've taken a loss here, my next trade needs to be fantastic. So that means tick divergence into a big zone after a large rotation down. Very powerful. Using tick divergence as well on those moves down. And then it also means leaving the end of the day alone. Look at this. Come in. We have approximately 40 minutes, 39 minutes left in the market. Okay, and this thing can go either way. We were just up near the highs in NQ a couple of minutes ago. ES, we have a higher low if this holds, and we have a higher high if this holds. I have no idea if it will or won't. It's the last hour. It won't even affect me. I won't be putting any money on the market. I've made my money. I have some trailers left from earlier trades to the long side. I've covered all my shorts that I've had in the market, and those may or may not pay out, but I will not add any additional positions in the last hour. I'm pretty much done. But if you keep the focus on growing your account, the trades, even forgiving what you did here, what I did here, which was take a loss on the first trade, right? This next trade at least took you down to where you were either break even or down a small amount. Okay. Again, I generally will not take the counter trades once I've hit initial support. Just not my style of trading. And then if you look at NQ, over here on NQ, I just had a wonderful day. First trade into the white zone, long. Sellers took control. Second trade, I did not take this second move into the white zone. First move into the zone below gave me a beautiful rotation up. And that is accounted with NQ combined with ES. It's accounted for a very beautiful and profitable day. So the other point to that is, as you develop your portfolio and you're growing both the size, the amount that you trade, you can also increase the amount of markets that you trade. And if you look, there's nuances here. Look at the difference in the size of the zone that's required for NQ versus ES. Look at the difference in how far the zones are spread out to get good entries, to have good rotations going. Okay, and what I'll find a lot of times is if one market isn't working for me one day, the other one will be working. The best is when they're both working beautifully and in harmony together. But you need to increase your portfolio. You need to have a very specific idea, because this is a detail-oriented business. If you're not executing properly, if you don't have a good exit plan, and you don't have an overall plan for increasing your trade size, your portfolio of trades, and understanding which trades can accept higher risk and which ones accept lower risk, you're setting yourself up for a tremendous amount of frustration. And if you're just grabbing at every trade you see out there, like, will this zone hold? Will it not hold? If you don't understand the nuances of, hey, we've consolidated right above the zone, I'm going to need to see more than just a move into this zone to take the trade. We're below the VWAP. Do I have tick divergence into initial support? Is that worth pressing a little bit? Maybe, maybe not. What are my exits for my trades? And how many losers can I take intraday and still be all right for the rest of the week? Because you got to remember, when you have a losing trade, that means you have to work for free. And every trade you take requires mental energy, emotional energy, and resources that are limited for most traders. So really decide, am I all right taking a loss? Can I live with that loss, and can I stop? And can I stop so that I don't have to work free tomorrow, the day after, the day after? Because what happens is traders start taking trade after trade going, I know it's long or I know it's short, and getting killed going both directions. Don't chase, let the market come to you. Well, that's the best I can recommend to anybody who's trading out there. So you can trade profitably. Anybody can trade profitably if you're willing to allow yourself to work within the confines of a rules-based system, and you're willing to do the work to figure out if your trade has an edge or not. And once you have that edge, understanding the details of that edge so that you don't ever panic. So at any rate, my name is Simon. I certainly hope this helps some people out there. If you would like to trade like a professional trader, please feel free to contact me. You can reach me at tradeandperform@gmail.com. I hope everyone banked a lot of money today, and hopefully this slow summer trading will give way to some awesome trading in August and September. Have a great day. Good night.